Hey, welcome back to another Stephen Thoughts, and I'm Stephen, and these are my thoughts. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about work-life balance as a parent, and the difficulties that every parent struggles through, or the challenges. One of the challenges that every parent faces are, of course, between this topic is stress, time, the relationship you have with your spouse, um, the whole balance, everything is just really, really difficult. And I've found that really difficult for me in the beginning. Sometimes, yeah, it still happens, but here's my experience and how I've managed to kind of improve with that. I still need a lot of improvement, as everyone, it's always a learning curve. We're still improving, we're still learning. So that's a pretty cool thing. But remember that it's something that its balance isn't about a perfect equality. It's about a meaningful presence. So basically, it's quality that is important. So it's not just being around your kids and family, but you guys, you're not sharing anything, you're not talking, you're just existing. You have to make, make it enjoyable, for both, for everyone really. And that's where quality comes into. So that's really important. But also another thing that I learned is I've always learned to put set boundaries with work. So when I'm not at work, I'm not at work, I'm at home. So it's important if you get emails, messages, calls, whatever, you're at home with your family, or your time, your shift is done. That's it. I don't belong to them. I don't belong. I'm at home where I actually belong. So that's something that should be aware of. Aware of, and it's really important. So yeah, being present. It's being a present parent is the most rewarding thing that you can ever imagine. But it could be incredible challenging. I've experienced it. I've experienced that day to day. But it's more to me. I don't know, like what you other parents out there think about, but for me, it's really rewarding because just imagine. Let me just paint you this picture. Well, you probably know about this anyway. But you're at work, you're having a stressful day, you're like annoyed at everyone, you hate people because you're like, ugh, frustrating. But you come home, and once you open the door, the first person to receive you is in my case, it's my daughter. She comes running and hugs me and gives me the best hug ever. That takes away all my stress and all my worries of the work day. And then talking to my wife and sharing things, how was her day, what was my daughter up to, what have they been doing. It's the most important thing to me, and it should be to every parent. Of course, I do have my days like everyone does, that you can't let whatever happened at work go, so you do bring it home. But I always remember to not let it transfer to my wife or my daughter. I just put a smile on my face, keep it happy and jolly. And then later on, I will vent to my wife, and she will give me the best advice and just the best support ever. This is another thing. You need a support system. Friends that are going through the same experience, having kids and are struggling. That's an amazing support. Family, parents, ask them how they did it. If you're in contact with your parents, how challenging it was for them, because this stuff that we, as growing up, we didn't know about. You get those, once you get those perspectives from others, is a game changer. It really helps you out because then he starts to teach you and help you how to improve. So for me, something that I do have is really challenging for me is not being on my phone. So I'm always on my phone. We're eating, sometimes I'm just checking something, doing research or whatever. Always on my phone, and I need to remember that once I come home, just put it away. It's let's spend time, quality time with my kid and wife. Just leave it. Sometimes I leave it in the entrance where I leave my keys. Sometimes I just leave it in the room. But then somehow makes its way back into my hand, and I'm like, oh, where did you come from? But I left you, whatever. But it happens, and you know, no one's perfect. You get those moments that you just wanna have for yourself. And another thing to lead to is that self-care. It's something that's really important. And self-care is not being selfish. It's you need it. You need to have self-care because you need to look after yourself so you can be able to care for your child. But remember how you do it. So being on your phone or having is not self-care, right? But then you also need that quality time for yourself. You need that breather or that moment where you're like stressed and frustrated or whatever. You need to remove yourself. And it happens. Sometimes I get frustrated and I've like had enough. And then my wife realizes and she's like, go take a break. Go take 5 minutes. Or the opposite, also my wife. And I know like some parents, like single mothers or single fathers that can't do that, you know. This is where you also you need to play poker face. It sucks for you, really. No, I'm joking. Just try to be in the moment and try to explain the situation or your feelings to your kids. Again, let me rephrase that actually. You don't want to vent to your kids to worry them, but let them know that, dad is not feeling well right now, so I just want to have a 5 minutes quiet time. Another thing that's really helpful, that is sometimes that I do, is that give them a task, give them a job, and it's not gonna last. Like they're not gonna leave you alone for longer than 2 minutes, probably not even that, probably a minute, but it helps out. It helps out because while you give them a task, then you got time to breathe, and then check yourself, and then just just catch that breath and be like, okay, I've gathered myself. I can deal with this. I can do it, right? And then you can go back to playing or spending time and having the best time ever for your kids, because that's what they want. They just want to spend time with you. Sometimes my daughter, I come home and the first thing, she just hugs me and everything, but then after even though when I'm doing stuff around the house, she just wants me to pick her up. That's when I'm like, oh, take this to your mom. Oh, put this, oh, can you help me out? Like, put this over there. And it helps really. Like, so if you're a single parent out there, then try to use those things to help you out. And that another important thing that is really vital is that that mental health aspect of it. So you need to just remember to sleep well, to rest well, to have those good sleep habits, because it's really crucial to everyone in the household, really the whole family, because while we're all rested, we actually are more patient and more present. Sometimes there's moments that I go to sleep late. I usually do that every day. Like right now it's gonna be 11 and I'm awake. But then in the morning, my daughter wakes up early. She wakes us up and she's like, food, play, this and that. Sometimes I wake up really, I don't want to. But then I'm like, you know what? Whose fault was it to go to bed sleep? It wasn't hers. It was mine. So then why would I take out my frustration out of her on her, or punish her for not being present or have fun with her if it was my fault? It's not. So there's those things that we kind of like need to think about and adjust, especially when you become a parent. Again, it's not about you anymore, it's about them. And yeah, you can have your moments to do your things and do things around the house and everything, but it just becomes about them, and enjoy those moments, because everyone always told me like time flies and time goes really quickly, and it does. When like, I still feel like a new dad, like I'm still learning like everything, but my daughter's 2, and time has gone too quick. And this year she's going to be 3, and then thinking about the next year, I don't even want to think about that. But time goes really quick, so enjoy those moments. I usually take a lot of pictures or videos, or like what we're doing stuff, having fun. And it's always good to do that, because you're like saving those memories for your kids to see in the future. And if that's a way that will help you between work and life balance as a parent, then do that and take pictures with your kids. Just be in the moment, because another thing that is really important is once you come home, leave work behind. It doesn't matter anymore. You're at home, focus on family, be present. Is really important. And another thing is embrace the journey. It's of being, of parenthood. Even though it has ups and downs, you're not alone. We're not alone in this. Everyone is going through it. Some people are harder than others, I get it. But every small steps we make to make it, like every small step we take or make, it literally it just makes the world of a difference. Really, it helps out so much. It's helped me out in a lot of ways. It's just that perfection of just thinking that the journey, it's being with your kid is amazing. I'm just gathering my thoughts, and I enjoy it. When you're at work, you're at work. Yeah, you can check on your family and everything, but when you're at work, they don't like you're. When you just think about it, when you're at work, you're not being distracted by, well, your kid or your wife or this and that, like home stuff, right? You're at work because that's what they need you for, right? But once you clock out and you're back at home, you're at home. Don't let work or your manager or whatever you do take that away from you. So I hope like this stuff helps out, and kind of helps you in that whole. If you're a new dad, that's not. It's not all like dark and gloomy and difficult and challenging. There are challenging. So I'm not saying, like, just to remember that work balance is a continuous journey, right? There's not a destination to it. What works today may not work tomorrow or on the next day, but that's okay. You adapt and you change, and then you create a new suitable rhythm that works out for both career and your family, and I think that's awesome. So once you have those thoughts and you want that change, and there's another thing that I always used to think is that once you start making those changes, is that's when you know that, like, you start seeing and improving and getting better. It's like it becomes second nature, right? Going into a bedroom or a room and you turn on the light. You don't think about it, it just happens. You just do it, right? Make sure you do that when you come home to be with your kids. Make sure it comes second nature. That's it. I'm home. I'm leaving the phone alone, leaving the phone away. And that's it. Of course, in time, the more repetition you do it, it helps. But it gets better. And once you're enjoying it, it doesn't become anything bad or stressful. Again, we're human, we have our stress moments. Sometimes we can't help with our situations or moods, but just remember to not put that down to your kids, or let them see it. Especially the younger they are, the more protection they need. The older they get, the more you can explain, so they can understand as well, so they can know what life is, and they will learn by watching you, because it's really important. So yeah, I think those are all my thoughts for today. I hope you guys have learned something. Again, I would like to hear what everyone's thoughts are on this topic, and how you guys deal with it. It would be really interesting to hear your opinions or what you think about the stuff I've said, and if you try the stuff, did it help? Just let me know. Just comment, like the video as well, subscribe, and you can watch my other videos. All right, take care. God bless.